Imagine knowing exactly how much you're worth and watching that number grow month after month. I tested the best net worth trackers, Monarch Money, Empower, and Quicken, to see which one makes that happen with the least effort. Here's what you need to know before choosing. Before we get into the features of these net worth and wealth tracking platforms, I want to share with you what I found digging through user reviews, because glossy marketing pages aren't going to tell you the whole story there, right? So whenever I'm researching a tool, I start with the 1-star negative reviews first. It's not about being pessimistic or anything. It's about spotting patterns that could turn into real headaches later. And with Monarch Money, I came across a concerning review from a user who said that he was charged $49.99 despite notifying Monarch in writing that he wanted to cancel. He's now trying to get a refund. Now, I'd be annoyed at this too if that happened to me, but here's why I didn't see this as a deal breaker. Billing errors like this can happen with any subscription service, and in most cases, they're resolved quickly with either a support ticket or, worst case scenario, credit card chargeback. So I couldn't even find a bunch of these, which tells me that this was likely an isolated case. And on the flip side, many users have said that Monarch completely changed their financial habits. Here's a user who said in his review that he paid off years of credit card debt, grew his savings more than ever before, and even set aside money for a trip to Japan, all because Monarch helped him budget based on a plan, not just their bank balance. Another long-term subscriber said it was their first serious attempt at budgeting. He said that it worked, and they plan to keep using Monarch Money long-term. Even threw out an idea for a Spotify Wrapped-style annual recap feature, which honestly sounds kind of cool. Now, when I looked into Empower's reviews, a user reported liking the app overall, but mentioned a laundry list of small annoyances, from missing checkboxes to mobile limitations, and a roadmap feature that kept nagging them even though it wouldn't complete. Honestly, those are valid frustrations, but they're also the kind of UI quirks that I've seen even in big-name banking apps. Empower's core features still work as intended, and their development team pushes updates pretty often, so some of those issues may already be fixed by the time you're watching. And again, plenty of people swear by it. One user said that it completely eliminated his need for manual spreadsheets by syncing all of his bank accounts and credit cards in one place. That's huge if you ever have wasted hours reconciling billing manually. And with Quicken, I came across this review from some elderly couple who said that they canceled because their annual price had gone up too much for their fixed income, especially since they only used it as a simple checkbook. I totally get that. If you're not using Quicken's deeper features, the subscription can feel like overkill. But that's not a flaw in the software. It's more about whether the tool matches your needs. And on the flip side, I've seen decades-long users say that Quicken keeps their bookkeeping in order and reminds them to pay bills on time, all while tracking every automatic charge directly to their accounts. One user even said that he likes how Quicken helps keep his bills organized and even catch sketchy automatic charges. He also liked the changes that Quicken has rolled out over the years, which tells me that they're not stuck in the past. They're still improving and growing. So what I got from my review digging was just that every net worth tracker has the occasional hiccup, but none of these have big red flags that would make me steer clear of it. So I then got into using the features offered by these best net worth trackers, and that's where things got interesting for me. Because once you get past the marketing, this is what makes or breaks your experience. Monarch Money feels built for the modern user who wants control without feeling overwhelmed. One feature I found surprisingly useful there is their transfer balance and transaction history tool. So if you've ever had a linked account connection break, maybe your bank changes its login security. So you can easily move your entire transaction and balance history into a new linked account without losing years of data. That's a lifesaver for keeping long-term reports accurate. Then there's their budgeting. You can choose between category budgeting, where you assign amounts to each category, or flex budgeting, which focuses on a bigger bucket of flexible expenses. Personally, I love flex for months use when my spending isn't as predictable, like during holiday season. Their cash flow page gives you a bird's eye view of income, spending, and savings rate over any time frame. You can also drill down by category or merchant and instantly clear where your money is leaking from. Add in the reports with visual charts, and it's almost addictive to track progress. They've also got recurring expense tracking that catches subscriptions and bills automatically, a great way to spot those free trials you forgot to cancel. And for investors, the ability to manually enter holdings when your brokerage isn't supported keeps your net worth picture accurate. Empower leans harder into investment and wealth tracking. Their cash flow graph shows income versus expenses month over month, excluding transfers and certain non-spending categories, so the picture is cleaner. And that's not all. Empower's budgeting widget is pretty simple. You won't set specific goals here, but you'll get a visual snapshot of where your money's going so you can make adjustments on the fly. And their credit card account details section lets you see all your credit card balances in one place with daily charge amounts. That's great for quickly spotting when interest or fees hit. Quicken then takes the all-in-one crown for sheer depth. Setting up your first account is as simple as telling it where you bank, and it downloads transactions, categorizes them automatically, and spits out spending reports. In my experience, it gets categories right most of the time, but you can tweak them for precision too. You can also set up bills and income reminders, which project your balances into the future so you're not surprised by an overdraft. That's something that I wish more modern apps had baked in. And because it's been around so long, Quicken's reporting depth from taxes to investment performance is almost unmatched. So while Monarch gives you modern flexibility, Empower shines in investment visibility, and Quicken is still the heavyweight for total financial detail, I still pretty much like all these. Now, none of these net worth tracking tools are perfect either. Monarch's modern design means that it's still building out some, niche features that power users might want, but honestly, it keeps it clean and easy to use. Empower's budgeting is more of a snapshot than a planner, but that's because their real strength is investment tracking. And Quicken, it's incredibly powerful, but that depth means that it can feel heavy if you only need basic budgeting. And also, pricing-wise, all three net worth trackers fall into the reasonable if you use it well category. If you're just dabbling, Monarch might feel premium, Quicken might feel like overkill, and Empower's free tier might be enough, but if you're serious about using one of the best net worth trackers to plan your financial future, they all justify the cost. Check the links in the description for the most up-to-date pricing and current promos they're offering. At the end of the day, though, the best net worth tracker really just comes down to your priorities. If you want the cleanest, most customizable dashboard, Monarch Money is tough to beat there. If you want something powerful but free, Empower is a solid choice. And if you like having everything from budgeting to investments all in a familiar platform, Quicken might be your best fit. Whichever you pick, start using it today because an unused tool won't grow your net worth. Check the link in the description of this video to get started with our special discount and coupon.